Thank you so much for joining us. First of all, what's your reaction to the news of the ceasefire? And just tell us a bit more about how you think it was reached.
Offensive where basically Baku's military action in 24 hours, it arrived at a kind of surrender of the de facto authorities. So they call it a ceasefire, but really Baku has achieved what it wanted, which was an agreement to start talks with local authorities on joining Azerbaijan and integrating into Azerbaijan and the disbanding of local security forces.
OK, I mean, do you think it's going to draw a line once and for all under this long-running, long-standing issue that dates back to, the breakup of the Soviet Union?
I mean, certainly there's still a huge risk of escalation along the international border with Armenia, but within Nagorno-Karabakh itself, the story is far from over. There is a dire humanitarian situation there after almost 9 months of blockade of the region, and how Baku manages the situation going forward is going to show whether there's a sustainable option of peace or not. It really has to address the concerns of residents there. There's 120,000 residents there. I mean, it has to avoid an exodus and really allow for humanitarian access and a real dialogue with people there.
I mean, it's very much perceived as being a win for Azerbaijan, a perceived humiliation for Armenia. I mean, is that an oversimplification of the facts, do you think?
I mean, I think in the words of one Russian diplomat that my team spoke to earlier today, Aliyev really got everything he wanted. There have been peace talks separately between Azerbaijan and Armenia, ongoing, facilitated by Moscow, Washington, and Brussels since Azerbaijan's victory in the 2020 war, and those are already going to likely continue unless there's a change of leadership in Armenia. But certainly with respect to Nagorno-Karabakh, Armenia didn't have the strength to fight this time.
And do you think if the Armenian Prime Minister played his cards differently and pivoted slightly less to the West, he might have got more support from Russia and a better outcome for the 120,000 people who live in Nagorno-Karabakh?
I think this situation has been years in the making. The map was redrawn in the second war in the region in 2020. Azerbaijan retook control of 7 adjacent territories to Nagorno-Karabakh. It retook control of part of the enclave, and talks have been going. Armenian forces at that point withdrew, and Russian peacekeepers were deployed to the region. Russian peacekeepers have been important, but Russia has clearly been unable or unwilling to deter Baku in this instance. The relationship between Russia and Armenia is a factor. It certainly probably didn't help the situation, but I don't think it's the full picture. Russia's influence has been waning for a while since its invasion of Ukraine, certainly.
And just lastly, where do you think this leaves the balance of power in the region?
Well, I mean, there are a number of regional players. Baku certainly felt empowered to take its action because of backing from Turkey, both now and during the 2020 war. The other strong regional players are Russia, whom we just spoke about, and Iran, who obviously wasn't going to get involved unless it perhaps saw some risk to its interest in the region and its relationship with Armenia. So, I mean, Baku is definitely in a position of strength. It is now has a responsibility to protect and ensure the safety of citizens in Nagorno-Karabakh that it claims as part of its territory.
OK, Alissa De Carbonnel at the International Crisis Group. Thank you very much indeed for taking the time to speak to us this evening.
Thank you.